Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again, and today I will explain about the non-cyclic pathway of that occurs in light phase of photosynthesis. Okay, so actually in light phase the H2O that splits into hydrogen, oxygen, and ATP is formed here, and also NADPH is formed here. Okay. And two pathways are there. One is the non-cyclic pathway, another is the cyclic pathway. Non-cyclic pathway that contains the two photosystem part. One is PS1, another is PS2. The PS1 means P700 and PS2 means P680. Okay. So generally non-cyclic way, in non-cyclic way, that is the complete light phase or complete light phase not, that means here the reaction is totally completed. Okay, another pathway is there, that is the cyclic pathway that happens in the lamellae of the stroma. Okay, so here the completion, I explain you that completion of the light phase, that means is not proper. Okay, because there this enzyme, that is the reductase enzyme, is absent. Okay, so the completion of the reaction is not possible. Okay, first we explain about the non-cyclic pathway. First we understand what are involved in here. What are involved means PHEO. PHEO means pheophytin. Okay, QA means QA and QB both are plastoquinone. Okay, and CYCLIC this is the cytochrome B6, cytochrome B6F. Okay, and this is the PC, this is cytochrome. Okay, cytochrome. Okay, and this is PC. PC means plastocyanine. There is AFD. AFD means pseudoxine, and FNR means flavoprotein AFD pyridoxine NADP reductase. This is one kind of enzyme, okay, that helps in the transformation of NADP plus into NADPH. Clear? And this is FES complex, that is iron sulfur complex, and A0 is excited situation of the chlorophyll. Okay, and A1, that is the phyloquinone. Clear? Then we see what happens here. First, you see here the H2O that splits. First, PS2 means P680. This is the P680 or photosystem 2. Clear? So first of all, the photon pigment comes from sunlight and it transfers into the P680 PS2 system. And what happens here? H2O breaks into H plus oxygen, that is the byproduct, this comes out, and 4 electron. Okay, and this is the 4 electron that transfers from the PS2 to the PS1 system. Clear? This 4 electron, and this is, there is electron acceptor that accept the electrons and then transfers to here. Okay, what happens? This electron that transfers into PHEO means pheophytin, that from pheophytin it transfers to QA, QB, that is QA and QB both are the plastoquinone, and A and B are the two forms. Okay, plastoquinone. From plastoquinone transfers to cytochrome B6F. Cytochrome B6F. After that, this electron transfers to PC. PC means plastocyanine. And from plastocyanine, ultimately, this electron transfers into P700. Clear? Okay. And again here, the photon comes from sunlight and it becomes excited. Okay, and here the electron from this P700 electrons transfer to A0, that means modified chlorophyll, okay, modified chlorophyll, and then from modified chlorophyll transfers to A1. What is A1? A1 means phylloquinone, okay, A1 is phylloquinone, and another from phylloquinone, this electron transfers to APS. APS means iron sulfur complex, and there is acceptor also present, okay, acceptor also present. This iron sulfur, from iron sulfur complex, the electron comes to the FD or ferredoxin, and from there ferredoxin, due to presence of the FNR, FNR means NADP reductase, okay, flavoprotein NADP reductase, flavoprotein NADP reductase. In presence of this electron actually helps NADP plus to convert into NADPH, okay. So actually within this non-cyclic pathway, the product that are formed, oxygen, hydrogen and NADPH. So PS2 that involved actually the formation of oxygen and hydrogen and obviously electron. That electron forms in this situation. This electron transfers from the 680 to the P700, and here actually electron involves the reduction of the NADP plus into NADPH, okay, and this NADPH actually helps the reactions to continue in the dark phase. Clear? This is the non-cyclic pathway of the light phase. How the electron flows, okay, how the electron flows. This is the non-cyclic pathway, okay. Now we will start about the cyclic pathway. What happens in case of cyclic pathway? This is the non-cyclic pathway, and here the two photosystem 1 and 2 both are involved here, okay, and all the enzymes present here actually that happens in the gland, okay, or thylakoid. So here we just learn about the non-cyclic pathway, that is the involvement of the PS2 and PS1. Now we check out what happens in case of cyclic pathway. Clear? Okay, this is the cyclic flow. Okay, this is the cyclic flow. Here the photon that comes to 700, P700, this PS1 is involved only here, okay, and electron passes to A0, that is the modified chlorophyll, and from A0 to phylloquinone, and from phylloquinone to APS, and then cytochrome B6F and plastocyanine, okay, but here the NADP reductase is absent, okay. As the NADP reductase is absent, then the NADPH formation is not happening here, okay. NADPH is not formed here because reductase is absent. So the reaction is incomplete. Here oxygen is also not produced, okay. Oxygen is not produced. NADPH is not produced, only ATP forms, because proton that forms here, proton that is hydrogen ion, so that helps in the formation or synthesis of, that is the ATP. ATP release is possible here only. So when it actually occurs, so actually when the NADPH concentration is high in the cell, then this cyclic flow of electron is possible, okay. Otherwise generally actually light reaction happens with the involvement of the two photosystem 1 and 2. Without only one is not actually involved in the light reaction, because here only ATP is produced, other than no NADPH is formed and no oxygen is released, okay. Because if and as the NADPH is not formed, then the Kelvin cycle or the dark phase reaction, that is not possible in this cyclic pathway, okay. So actually actually this is the cyclic pathway. Here the P700 or PA1 that is involved here, and due to the absence of NADP reductase, so NADPH is not formed here, only ATP is formed. Here this is the non-cyclic, before that I explained a non-cyclic electron flow, and this is the cyclic electron flow. Here. Now, this is oxygen evolving complex. This is oxygen evolving complex. Okay. So, here when the water is released, so how the electron transfers, we just see from the non-cyclic electron flow and the cyclic electron flow. Okay. But what happens to oxygen? How the oxygen form? So, one oxygen molecule released when the 4 electrons are utilized. Okay, 4 electrons are utilized, and this is the oxygen evolving complex. This is oxygen evolving complex, or this is known as the A-state mechanism, through which this is started from A0 and it is completed to A4. And this YZ is the electron carrier. YZ is the electron carrier. Okay, and these are the 4 electron. These are the 4 electron go to the YZ electron carrier, and these 4 electrons are utilized for the production of one oxygen molecule. Okay, and this is possible. First, this 4 photon absorption is occurred for the 1 electron loss. 4 photon absorption occur for the 1 electron loss, and this 1 electron loss from the manganese center. Here the manganese center of the S-state situation. Okay, manganese center, 1 electron loss from the manganese center. So that means from here the 4 electron lost and to the formation of the 1 oxygen molecule. Okay, and this is known as the photon driven redox reaction. This oxygen complex formation, the reaction is called the photon driven redox reaction. Okay, and here the S4, between the P680 and the S complex, P680 and S complex, the 1 tyrosine residue, that is a D1 protein present in the PS2, this is involved for this total reaction, where the oxygen formation is possible from the oxygen evolving complex. Clear? So this is the formation of oxygen and how the electrons are utilized for the oxygen production. Okay? So here in the light reaction, we just understand how the ATP synthesized and oxygen how the produced and NADPH formation and the electron flows. Okay. Okay. Now it's said how the ATP synthesis occurs. Okay. So here this is the PS2 system and this is also PS1. Okay. And here you can see the electron transfers from P680 to the P700 through cytochrome B6F. Okay, when this transformation occurs, then the 8 protons that enters into the lumen. This is lumen. Okay, lumen, thylakoid lumen, and this is the thylakoid membrane. Clear? And this portion is the stromal. So what happens? When the transformation of the electron is possible from P680 to P700, then at the same time the protons, actually 8H plus, that enters into the thylakoid lumen, and not only present here, due to the presence of ATP synthesis enzyme, actually it helps in the ATP synthesis. Okay, so this ATP synthesis, it forms in the form of CF0 and CF1, because F0 and F1 ATPase, these are the parts of ATP synthesis. Here the CF0 that forms this proton channel through which the protons that enter into the lumen, it transfers to the stroma here, and this CF1 actually helps in the synthesis of ATP from NADP. Clear? So how the ATP synthesis is possible in this light reaction, I think you can understand it. Okay? So today in this topic we learn how oxygen produced, how electron transport is possible, and how the ATP synthesis occurs. Clear? Okay. Thank you.